Did you know that maritime piracy costs the world lots and lots of money? The International Maritime Bureau estimates that 16 billion US dollars is lost annually as a result of maritime piracy due to theft, due to insurance costs that are rising, due to kidnapping, and also violence against cargo and crew. This is an important area of the maritime industry that needs to be brought to a stop. This is Nimasa This Week. My name is Eugenia Abu. We thank you for joining us.
Any vessel operating coastal voyage in Nigeria must mandatorily have on board the following: vessel logbook, vessel port of call, vessel particulars, which include registry certificates, safety equipment certificates such as safe manning certificates, builder's certificates, load line certificates, tonnage certificates, radio certificate, insurance certificates, classification certificates, passenger ship safety certificate, service certificate, cargo ship certificate, and waiver certificate or receipts. Vessel owners, captains, shipping agents, and members of the public are advised to note and comply.
Thank you for rejoining us. You're watching Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. This is a program designed to bring you lots of information about the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. You're going to be seeing a lot of activities from the Office of the Director General, Dr. Bashir Jamu, in DG's diary, and our usuals, which is maritime facts and some quotes. Do stay with us.
The DG CEO of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamu OFR, during the week met with the Honorable Minister of Aviation, Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN. They discussed the establishment of Blue Economy information desks at all international airports in the country, with Nimasa operating under the supervision of the Marine and Blue Economy Ministry. The Blue Economy desk at the ports will enhance interministerial collaboration to harness potentials in the Nigerian maritime sector by creating awareness of a functional intermodal transport system and tourism, amongst others, which are key components of a growing maritime nation. Nimasa DG Dr. Bashir Jamu joined the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegoyiga Oyetola, at the opening of the 43rd Annual Council of the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa, PMOCA, in Lagos.
My name is Chief Dr. George Moralo.
Senator Binta Masi Garba.
Is Rollins McFoy, the President of Women in Maritime Nigeria.
You are watching Nimasa This Week.
You are watching Nimasa This Week.
Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime.
The voice of maritime.
The voice of the maritime industry.
The voice of the maritime.
Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
Information management is seen as key to the success of the blue economy. The blue economy around the world is an area of field that everybody believes is the next line of improving growth in every nation's economy. There's no difference for Nigeria. As a result of this, media has been put on the front burner by Nimasa. In conjunction with the Kofi Annan Peace Center, there has been a capacity building workshop for media as a result of ensuring that the Gulf of Guinea and piracy and security in that area is taken care of. What is the best way to cover piracy? What is the best way to understand it? This capacity building workshop for the media will set the tone for all of this. Enjoy.
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, in collaboration with the Kingdom of Denmark, on Monday embarked on a 5-day training program for maritime journalists on adequate reportage of activities in the Gulf of Guinea. The training program, which is resident, is facilitated by the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, KAIPTC, with the theme, Gulf of Guinea Maritime Security Reporting. Participants at the training were drawn across various media organizations in Nigeria, spanning defense journalists and maritime journalists. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the course, the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamu, noted that Nigeria has recorded great successes in maritime security, and there is need for the media to project this to the rest of the world.
It is the media that will educate and enlighten Nigerians. It is the media that will focus the attention of educating the international community. The narrative of maritime insecurity in Nigeria is no longer in place. It is the media that will ensure that the negative report that we are receiving in the social media to correct such anomalies. It is the media that will now educate each and every investor on where to invest and how safe the investment will be. And I want to remind you that he who controls media controls minds.
Also speaking, the Director, Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research, KAIPTC, Professor Kwesi Anning, noted that reporters have not been well sensitized on the technicalities of the security in the Gulf of Guinea. According to him, there is need for the maritime journalists to project the success stories that Nigeria and Nimasa is making, adding that these successes are underreported.
Even as Africans, we tend not to tell our own good stories. That more often than not, we have been conditioned in such a manner that it's only the negatives that we want to talk about. But then let me take this opportunity on behalf of the Commandant of the KIPTC to applaud the hard work of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by its Navy and certainly Nimasa and your good self, who have worked so tirelessly to ensure that through the Deep Blue project, pirate activities in the Gulf of Guinea are becoming a distant memory.
I was in Kofi Annan for about 2 years now. Every year I will have to go and see what is going on, what is the update, how do we align, how do we change, how can we conceptualize our own strategy in terms of ensuring maritime security is sustained in this country. And I'm glad that we are reaping that fruits of labor that we are doing. And today, the IMB report shows that the experiences of maritime insecurity, the successes recorded is about, since 1993, we have never recorded such successes. You go on Google, you find out that. So this is a yielding result, and we are happy. So we can't continue to go and sleep. We have to continue to collaborate, and we have to get people like you to inform the international community that this is what we are doing.
Denmark has shown tremendous interest in Nigeria's maritime industry. This is not surprising. Denmark as a nation has done extremely well in its own maritime industry and therefore is seeking ways of collaboration and support with the Nigerian maritime industry. As a result of this, the Danish ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Sune Krostrup, took time off his very busy schedule to visit the Nimasa operational base at Kirikiri in Lagos. Take a look.
As gatekeeper to the Baltic Sea, Denmark's geographic location has played a strong influential factor in the country's development into one of the world's leading maritime nations. Surrounded by sea, Denmark has more than 400 islands and a total coastline of over 7,000 kilometers. The maritime industry in Denmark consists of shipyards, suppliers and designers of ships, maritime equipment, products and services. Denmark has long ranked in the top 10 of global maritime nations. So it was a welcome development when the Danish ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Sune Krostrup, visited the port city of Lagos with the sole aim of appreciating the workings of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Nimasa. This, he said, is in a quest to foster the Nigerian-Denmark relationship in the maritime sector.
Yes, we met with the Honorable DG yesterday for an extensive talk about the capabilities and the situation of maritime security, but also the capabilities of Nimasa and the important role that Nimasa plays in terms of securing territorial waters. So we're looking forward to this talk.
At the agency's C4I Center, officials were on hand to talk him through the workings of the facility.
In the year 2022, there was no pirate attack in Nigeria. This is all after the inception of the Deep Blue project in the year 2019. It goes to show that the Deep Blue project is already having effects in our maritime security. You can also see a similar downward trend from the years 2020 up until date. And it also goes to show that the Deep Blue project is not just for Nigeria, but for the whole Gulf of Guinea region as well.
As the CEO of HLSI, we're excited and so happy to be part of this project. I think that the most important thing is that since we have started to build this project in 2017, 18, and 19, that we used to have 48 cases, 35 cases, 36 cases of piracy in the federal water. Today, for 2 years or more, we have zero cases in the EEZ of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Our focus is very much on the regional maritime security. I was just curious, are you taking some of the YARIS information, the owned architecture information system, into your system, and do you, the other way, share your information on the YARIS?
The Solata is also a system that connects the whole of the maritime domain security architecture. We've spoken on to that, and we've started with that. We tend to progress from there.
They also paid a visit to the Nimasa Regional Maritime Rescue Coordination Center.
So this is Regional Maritime Rescue Coordination Center, Lagos. It serves as a coordination center for the Gulf of Guinea, at the same time the Nigeria Center for Search and Rescue. The center holds the GMDSS system, the Global Maritime Distress and Safety System, and it is for 9 countries, the countries that we are coordinating the activities within the Gulf of Guinea, the country Nigeria here, Benin Republic, Cameroon, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Congo DR, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea. These are the countries, the 9 countries we coordinate.
Also, a brief stop was made at the Nimasa E-Library, where the head of the library, Aisha Askira, talked them through.
The library is digitized, we have automated, we have all the electronic resources, we have books on maritime safety, maritime security, marine pollution, we have all books as it relates to the maritime sector.
The Danish ambassador commended the agency's efforts in the development of the maritime sector, particularly in the blue economy.
Bringing us here today, hosting us. We have spent a lot of time before coming here talking with Nigerian stakeholders about the importance of the blue economy. And clearly, Nimasa plays a key role in developing the Nigerian economy.
Maritime Cooperation Technology Center Africa, in conjunction with Nimasa, has hosted a workshop on biofouling. Biofouling has caused tremendous risk to the maritime industry and continues to do so. But what has technology got to do with biofouling? And for the non-initiated, what actually does biofouling mean? This is the report that is going to bring you up to speed on all this information and more. Please sit back and try to get some knowledge on this.
The place of technologies in the management of marine biofouling was the focus of discussions at this session with participants from Jordan, Djibouti, Mauritius, Somalia, the United Kingdom, Comoros Island, and Nigeria. They all converged at the instance of Nimasa, MTCC Africa, and the IMO. Ms. Ramat Jallo of the International Maritime Law Institute, Malta, and Dr. Omar Ofodile from Nimasa talked about the dangers of biofouling.
Fouling causes heaviness and drag to the ship, and when that drag occurs, in order to increase the speed of the vessel, we have to use more fuel. And the negative impact of using more fuel is the fact that there's more carbon dioxide that is released into the atmosphere, and that carbon dioxide, etc., converts itself into greenhouse gases.
Greenhouse gas emission reduction has continued to be an issue of great concern to the IMO, and as such, they are no longer looking at emission from ships alone. They have diversified into so many other issues, and that is why we are here today. When we talk about biofouling, it's one of the issues that needs to be tackled in the maritime environment.
The process by which these organisms attach themselves to the ship and other species is referred to as biofouling. Nigeria's economy relies heavily on international trade, with shipping being a key component of the country's import and export activities. The sea is the only unifying and linking several nations to one another. So how do we stop this menace? We can't, but all we do, we manage it.
During a review session, the biology of biofouling and environmental conditions, factors influencing biofouling, operational and environmental benefits were also looked at.
The lack of training, awareness, I will say, is one of the main problems, because when you don't understand an issue, then you don't pay much attention to it, and if there are things that need to be done, they won't get done unless you understand that there are dangers associated with a particular issue.
Looking at the danger, what it does to the ecosystem, what it does to even to the ship owners. You know, at the end of the day, the ripple effects is it affects the economy, it affects food, it affects food supply, it affects almost everything. It damages our water, pollution and the rest of it. And you see, anything that affects anything that has to do with livelihood affects women.
We have participated in beach cleanings, and we have collaborated with NIWA. We donated giant waste bins, and we even participated, we spearheaded cleaning of the CMS jetty that you see there for the ferries.
The painting that is used on ships can be preventive, because when properly done, it will not allow those microorganisms to cling to the hull of ships or in niche areas.
The issue of biofouling is not just theoretical, as the team went on a field tour to see firsthand what was discussed during the session. The port of call was the Naval Dockyard in Victoria Island, Lagos.
You're all welcome to the Naval Dockyard Limited, the last point of call in a series of engagements you've had for the past 3 days. As usual, whenever we hear Nimasa, the dockyard moves. I learned that previously we've had some national engagements on the related topic of regional workshops on transfer of environmentally sound technologies biofouling projects. We are really excited because your deliberations, the findings, the analysis, and all what we have had and experienced in the past 3 days are indeed relevant to us.
We will not do our tests, ultrasonic tests on all the metals to see the ones that are still okay to use. But there's a way corrosion will act on the metal that will reduce the strength of the metals. I want to find out that the strength is so low, we have to do what we call cropping and replacing. Cropping as well, we'll cut it out, we'll put a new metal and replace it so that it will be stronger. And after doing that, we have to do some form of protection. The first protection we do is to add primer paint. We got primer paint on it. We paint it to paint against corrosion. These are heat exchangers. We listen very well. We have heard when she says major heat exchangers. The cooling system inside engines. They're taking seawater and proper seawater. These are the biofouling issues that they have with these heat exchangers.
We always do what we call peer review. If we are doing our peer review, within Africa we carry some South Africa's Maritime Administration. So that's where we do gauge our own performance. By the time we enacted our own SCOMO Act, no country did so. The issue of Deep Blue project, even the foreigners, they do come and observe how do we do it. From my slides, 2022 to date, we don't have attack, single attack. When we are experiencing attack in Somalia, the whole world went to Somalia. America, India, Germany, they went there to fight the virus. But Nigeria, we stood firm. The health of Nigerian Navy, they ensured that we dealt with the situation. Today, what we are talking about is sustainability.
The creation of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy has been causing a lot of excitement in the maritime industry. This excitement, of course, is because one, it is new, and two, it has a lot to give the nation. The federal government set up the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy according to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to diversify the economy, to grow the economy, and to create job opportunities. This information was revealed at the conference of the Port Management of West and Central Africa, in fact, at the opening session by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The President was represented by the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola. Here's a clip of that conference.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has urged African leaders on the need to prioritize the blue economy, stating that the blue economy holds the key to Africa's prosperity. The representative of the President, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, who spoke at the 43rd Annual Council of the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa, PMOCA, in Lagos, underlined the critical role of the blue economy in the collective prosperity of African nations, emphasizing that the sector holds immense potential for the entire continent.
We are ready, we're willing, we've done all that is necessary to ensure that we're very competitive. You could see the new Lekki Deep Sea Port, that's going to be the kind of template for the other ports we're developing. We're developing by 6 additional ports that are ongoing to make us very competitive. I'm glad about the issue of the continental integration. That's the way to go.
Implementation of AFTA resonates very, very strongly with the policy thrust of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has identified the port space as very critical to its economic agenda in terms of decongesting the ports, creating employment, and attracting foreign direct investments.
As an organization that appreciates the catalytic role of PMOCA in promoting port cooperation, the Nigerian Ports Authority will continue to embrace partnerships and support policies and action steps arising from the insightful policy shaping meetings and technical sessions that will dominate the next few days of this session.
The FGA would like to laud at this point that the objectives of ACFA resonate with the priority areas of the Renewed Hope agenda.
Introducing the Nimasa Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and Nimasa will respond.
You have been watching Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime. We have been busy all week, and again next week we shall be as busy to bring you another edition of the program. For this edition, it's a wrap. My name is Eugenia Abu. On behalf of the entire team working behind the scene, we thank you for joining us.